Welcome to Barley and Me. I'm your host, Ben Rice. This is episode 92. We're here today at Super Owl Brewing in Davis, California with owner Joe Vida.
Hello.
He's also the brewer here at Super Owl.
Yes, sir.
And our special guest, Cheryl the Soccer Mom Anderson.
Hi.
One of my favorite people in the world.
You're one of my favorite people.
This is going to be gross. I already hate it. We'll get to it later. Right now, we're talking about Joey and Super Owl Brewing. So, how's business here, Joey?
Business is going well. We are celebrating our 16th month at the end of January. So still pretty new to the scene here. The newest brewery in Davis. So of the four.
Yeah. There's one that's been around for 30 years, and then there's three that just kind of popped up the last 2-3 years.
Exactly. Yeah. So business is going well. We're in West Davis, past the 113. So I always say the 113 is like the invisible barrier of Davis. It's like we cater to those families west of 113.
The wrong side of the tracks.
Right, exactly, yes. Yeah.
So how's business going in those 16 months?
So business has been great. We have a very, I would say, dedicated local following. We kind of set up to be a third spot, like a gathering point for families after work's done or when they're out on walks and things like that. And it's been really fun to see like neighbors who knew of each other just kind of come here, and now all of a sudden they meet up on Thursdays or Wednesdays and become friends and have 2-hour conversations with beer and everything like that. So it's been really fun. It's been an adventurous start from home brewing to professional brewing. Some bumps along the way, learning everything, but it's been a fun, very joyful ride so far.
Why is it called Super Owl?
The common question. Yes. Yeah. So it actually is a pretty funny story.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yes, that's very true. So I've been involved with the local homebrewing scene for a while, and I was a homebrewer before that before Davis. Greenbelt Brewers Association is the one here in Davis, and my brother wanted to learn how to homebrew. And so he invited me over, hey, do you want to do it on Sunday? I'm like, yeah, I'll bring all my stuff over on Sunday. And both of us were lost in the moment and forgot that it was actually Super Bowl Sunday. And so he sent me a text message like, hey, do you want to come over for the Super Owl? Just left off the B, so it was like a typo on his text message. I'm like, sure, if you want to call it that. And so we made a beer that we liked, our friends liked, family liked. And it kind of snowballed from there, and he started doing like glassware and a couple like odd T-shirts, and so I have specific pint glasses that he made me after that brew day.
Oh, nice.
For when he shows up from out of town. So, yeah, it just is a typo between my brother and I.
So you stumbled into a brewery name and logo work.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it all worked out. Yeah.
You're like, well, we already have the stuff. I brew. Brews are the thing. Let's just do a brewery. I already have a name. I have logos. I've already got a beer. We're ready to go. Let's do it.
We are set up. And it's funny too, because that story has taken a life of its own. When we first opened, like within the first 4 months, like that story was told back to me multiple times because I didn't know I was the owner of the brewery. And like, oh yeah, they got a cease and desist letter from the NFL because it was supposed to be Superb Brewing or Superb Owl or something like that. And
did you really?
No. It's just like the story just took a life of its own. And I was just like, yeah, no, not quite that, but I appreciate it.
We sent them one, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rename that thing. Yes. Yeah. So
too close.
Yeah, it was just came about from that typo. And,
so you're already a legend, essentially.
Yes. Yeah. Davis Wiki all over it. Yeah.
A lot of lore behind it. So what was your brewing background besides the homebrew? Like, what got you into the home brewing world, I guess, is a better angle on
that. So my wife and I went to a small college in Portland, Oregon, Lewis and Clark College. And when I was there, I was a business econ major. And my senior year, it was like Northwest Brewing from like 1996. And we did a case study on it. And I love the case study, and I was already frequenting the bars and the breweries around there. And in Portland, even back then, like you throw a stone and you hit a neighborhood brewery.
Yeah.
And so after college, I just started to want to do it. And back then, it wasn't a lot as available as it is now. So I went to my local homebrew shop, and they had like some extract kick, and I brewed it with my dad one night, and we made a really good malt vinegar that time.
Yes.
It was fantastic. So, but that started the kick, and then I started to just read up on everything that I could get my hands on, magazines, books. And then when we moved to Davis, my wife was accepted to UC Davis Law back then, and started taking some courses with Bamforth and Lewis. Everything that wasn't extremely long. So everything that was a weekend, week-long, day-long, whatever I could get my hands on, and did that. And like I said, the local brewing scene here in Davis, the Greenbelt Brewers Association, was a really big help. We would meet every month and get people different beers to try. They'd try. I tried their beers and just kind of work recipes out that way.
So was it always kind of in the back of your mind that you'd have your own brewery someday, or was it just for home?
So I always wanted one after that senior year. Like I was like, I ran into some notes of what I took back then. We were actually going through the opening process of this, and ran into like notes I had taken with my friends late at night after a couple beers in our apartments. And it was something I always wanted to do. Right out of college, though, it was like get a real job, do everything you could that way. And so I went that path for a while, and then an opportunity presented itself where make the jump into it, and I had enough brewing, I thought, enough decent recipes to kind of come out and start up something here, make quality beer, make a place that we thought would be reminiscent of what we enjoyed in college, where we met up with our friends after work or after classes were done or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I love the idea of that like neighborhood place to come hang out and drink some beers and have some conversation.
Yeah.
I love that a whole lot. And like you said, it's an absolute Portland thing
that
just came down here.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We have we have no TVs here. So it's a conversation that we always get asked at the bar.
Oh, yeah, that's really unusual.
Yeah, because we wanted a place where people would actually come and talk to each other.
Right.
And not have like that visual stimulation of, oh, what's the score of the game right now, you know? And there is, when we talk to the people at the bar, it's 70-30. 70% of the people are fine with no TVs. 30% are very vocal that they want TVs because they want to know what the score of whatever is on.
That's what your phone is for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we have free Wi-Fi, so they can get on and watch whatever they need.
You should take that away, and then also get rid of everything you could possibly plug a charger into. Like, no, we're here to talk.
We're here to talk. Yes.
People don't have phones out here either. Though I was just noticing.
No. Yeah,
they're actually talking, and you have board games.
Yeah, we have
cool.
We have board games for adults, and then we have board games for kids. You know, some not appropriate ones for kids. But they. The big one, even for Connect 4, I would have never thought. But with adults and kids alike, it's probably our most popular one. But it's funny.
Yeah, it's like, can I count to 4?
Yeah.
It's a good test.
Right.
You don't have to go through the rules.
Yeah.
If they only get to 3, we have to cut them off.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then you also have the chalkboard on the back wall.
Yeah.
Anyone can doodle.
Yes. We painted our whole back wall with chalkboard paint, and we gave an area for kids to do drawings on, and then when they leave, the adults to do their drawing on. And luckily, the adults at night, we can erase it before the kids get in the morning.
They get inappropriate.
Yeah. There's been some nice doodles on there. Some phone numbers released. But the thing that I've been surprised by is the kids will come in and start doing math homework on it. And
nice.
They'll have like a little group of kids, and like the oldest kid is like actually going through like math problems.
Oh, that's
adorable.
Like,
so it's like, all right.
Yeah. Little tutor session.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They charge by the hour though, so it's
Yeah.
Davis.
Yes, exactly.
That is amazing. That's great. So Cheryl.
Yes.
Tell me about yourself.
Myself?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Oh man, where do you come from? What are you all about? Who is Cheryl the Soccer Mom Anderso?
I'm kind of soccer grandma now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a grandma, but I can't really say soccer mom anymore. And I sold the minivan, so.
Oh, no.
A while ago.
Fine.
Yeah. So I grew up in Minnesota and lived in Sacramento, lived in Folsom for 25 years. Started doing comedy about 10 years ago, 12 years.
Yeah, you lose track of time. I have no idea.
I did. Yeah, some people know the exact first time they were on stage, and it was like back then.
It was around New Year's 1 year. That's what I know.
Because I wasn't planning on making it a job,
Right.
I just kept doing it, and then things just kept happening, so I just kept doing stand-up, and that's what I'm doing now. Moved back to Minnesota, but I'm kind of in between. I'm down in L.A., I'm finishing out my daughter's lease in L.A., and then I'm up here for the weekend at Laughs Unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cheryl, I don't know if, it'll probably never come on the podcast, but you gave me everything that I've ever done was from you. Like when I eat dinner, it's from you because you gave me a dining room table.
Okay.
You gave me my first comedy room to run at
Yeah.
Po' Boys.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Handed that over. And you've been fairly encouraging on this beer front as well on the podcast front. So
Right.
really,
And I bring you beer from Wisconsin sometimes.
yeah, Spotted Cow. Delicious.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. One time you even smuggled beer in for me.
Yep. Yes, because I took it to Canada accidentally.
Yeah.
I hope we're like past the statute of limitations or something. Because they were like, because I had, they asked like, do you have alcohol? And I was like, no. And then I remembered, oh, geez, I had a whole trunk full.
Bootleg, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it still came back. Didn't get used at all in Canada.
No,
and came
I just
right back
had
to the
it.
U.S.
Yeah.
But she was driving a sports car at that point, right?
Yeah.
In a minivan, you can get away with anything. You really can. Anything. I could be, if I was a bad person, I could be like a drug smuggler. Easy, I think.
And the statute of limitations on that does not run. Just so
Oh.
we're clear. That's forever, I've heard. So
Yeah.
careful.
I can't, though. I can't break rules. Like, if I had remembered the beer in the trunk, I probably would have just confessed.
Yeah. So I have a 4-pack. I have a whole 4-pack back there. I wasn't going to drink it, I swear. I wasn't. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Or any Canadians. I'm just making a stop in Canada, and I forgot to leave it in the fridge.
Yeah.
There's a tall boy in the glove
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. Can you hold it for me? I'll be back in like 3 days. Can you just hold it? I'll be back. It's not a problem.
Yeah. I think about you all the time, too. Whenever somebody in Minnesota says, can you borrow me? Will you borrow me a pencil or borrow me something? Because I know it bothers you so much. And now I'm hearing it. Because I didn't even notice it before.
Yeah, because you didn't know any better.
Yeah, I know. And now I hear it all the time. And then I think of you every time.
Yeah, because I'm also from North Dakota, but I'm not originally.
Okay.
And Cheryl, you were born there.
I was born in Minnesota, yeah.
Grew up there.
Yep.
Started to raise kids there.
Yep.
Then moved to California.
Yeah.
So no idea. She didn't have the outside world perspective.
Not at all.
I came from Seattle in like middle school. And the first thing I ever heard was somebody sitting on the table in the lunchroom going, "Where's that girl who borrowed me her pencil?" And I was like, I'm in hell. This is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And 6 years of dealing with that. I'm like, it's not hard. You take out a borrow? No, you take out a loan. You take out a loan. You take it from a lender. I don't know why this is hard for you. And my English teacher was on board for it. It's like, no, they're right. I'm like, you're wrong. And I'm a talkative, gregarious guy now, but back then I was like a very quiet person. And I like attacked my teacher. Like, did you go to school here? Did you go to college here? Did you ever move out of here? Then you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So your teacher was saying borrow me was correct?
Yep.
Huh.
Ooh.
Education.
Wow.
Because she'd never left North Dakota. I was like,
Yeah.
Your college is 40 miles from here. Your high school's 20 miles from here. You never got educated outside of the state of North Dakota. You don't know what you're talking about. If you go literally anywhere else, you will be mocked endlessly. Please stop saying it this way.
Yeah.
And I had forgotten about it. Then one time, a friend from high school messaged me on Facebook, because like, oh, I'm going to reconnect with high school classmates. He's like, I still remember when you borrowed me this album. I'm like, oh god, no, just nom flashbacks. No, I hated it. Yeah, but thank you for those constant reminders. I'm going to have a really bad night.
Just
You're
flashbacks.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And
But
Becky's desk, too. Do you still have the desk?
we do still have the desk.
Good.
Yeah. It's in a corner. There's boxes around it. It's,
Gotta get it working.
I know, but Anyway. I make it my goal every weekend to make it so it's not there.
Oh.
And it's more easily accessible. But I have my own desk in there, and that one's accessible. And I use it all the time.
What did it need?
I'm not happy about it. But it's a beautiful desk.
That's nice.
Yeah. But we're besmirching its valor, for sure.
Yeah, this is a hopping place.
Yeah, Sunday we have some of our old regulars. So they were here when we opened up. They moved up to Seattle, and they came back in and having their get together. Like, come on down to the Super Owl and we'll hang out. So,
oh my God, Cheryl, we're having our get together because you're back in town at Super Owl.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're having
like
a
reunion place,
where you come.
Yes, yeah. And in the bar right now is all of our regulars. So.
Does it get quiet when there's a football game on then, since there aren't TVs, or are there all the people that just don't care about football?
Usually it's the people who don't care about football, or like I said, they'll get on their Wi-Fi and have their phone in front of them and just check the scores.
Yeah.
I can see them glancing down every so often, but yeah, it's right now I think with the playoff, Saints
it's the
versus Rams.
Yeah, it's the championships to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, who cares? I don't care.
I'm out on football.
Yes.
I was until the Vikings lost everything.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I was going to say, it seems like a place for you. Last year would have been great.
We were at the Minneapolis Miracle.
Really?
At the game, yeah.
Nice.
It was pandemonium. It was so cool.
Could you hear the next day?
No, or talk, anything. It was ridiculous. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
And then the next week, nothing. And then, because I volunteered for the Super Bowl because I was in Minneapolis, and it was in Minneapolis because we thought, like, here, this is it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
we're
because
the first home team.
It's destiny, right? After that ending, it had to happen. And so I was volunteering for the Super Bowl. So then all the stupid Eagles fans were coming into town, and then I had to be nice to them because I was in the Skyways and like showing people, and I was just so tempted to like send them down a dead end and send them the wrong way. Because they had been so mean to us. All of our fans that went there, they were really mean, and they won the game. There was no reason to be mean. But I was nice.
Philly's the worst sports fans in America. We all know that.
When I drove through,
besmirch their name right now.
Yeah, this isn't national or anything, right? Do you have any
exactly.
fans in Philadelphia? When I did a show in Atlantic City after the Super Bowl. And then I had to fly into Philadelphia. So when I drove past the Eagles stadium, I stuck up my middle finger at them. But then I kept it like low down because I was afraid that there was like people driving by me would see me. So that's like as gangster as I get.
Yeah, I do it on the steering wheel with the hand I'm gripping on it, and I slide it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then it's the person in front of me.
Oh,
and then it could just be the way I hold my hands. Right. Yeah, it could just be how I'm holding my hands.
Oh,
yes.
thank you. Okay, see, I'm learning.
Yeah, but also the down low. The down low is the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
You giving the finger to anybody? He's like, no, I'm a business owner. I have
no, Davis is too small to give a finger to people. Yeah. Because then they show up at the brewery the next day, like, so why were you tailgating me? And I'll be like, you're going slow. I'm sorry. I have to,
This is Davis. We should be going 1 mile above.
Right, exactly.
And you were going 1 below, and that's just unheard of.
We have rules here, people. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's nuts, Sarah. I'm sorry that happened to you and your team.
Yeah, me too. And this year was worse, so.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah. I won tickets this year, though.
Oh, yeah?
I gave blood for the Vikings. They had a blood giving day, and then I won a pair of tickets.
Oh, nice.
For giving blood, yeah.
Which game?
The Miami.
Okay, so they're like, here's the garbage game. We're gonna give you this.
Well, we won, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like they're gonna have a good time because we're gonna win. Right.
Yeah.
It's like guaranteed.
Right.
Okay, here we go, Miami. Ryan Tannehill is trash, and you should never resign him. But I'm out on football entirely this year. I haven't watched a second of it. I've been doing great.
Okay.
And it was funny because somebody asked me why. I was like, well, there's the protest thing and the way they handle their players and the contracts and stuff. I'm like, but last summer, I almost forgot for like a while. Somebody asked me like, what was the breaking point? I was like, I forget. Like, they're like, oh yeah. There's a guy that died in the college practice from exhaustion.
Right.
Like they didn't give him water and ended up dying of heat stroke.
See?
And I'm like, that's terrible. And they're like, that's not the pros. I'm like, yeah, but like a week later, a professional coach admitted to doing that to his own players.
Really?
Like that day, he had done it that day, like a week after the death. And I'm like, so he learned nothing from that,
right?
And still just ruined his professional players.
Now
like,
I feel guilty for being a fan. I know, because I was off it when there was the whole controversy stuff. I'm like, that's it, I'm done. But then they kind of backed off, so I'm like, okay, I'll be a fan again.
Right.
But now I feel guilty again.
Yeah. Then there's concussions and just non-guaranteed contracts with people who are never going to walk properly again. It's just a whole thing. Yeah, because I was talking to let's really make this political. Let's just do it. Let's just dive in.
Gotcha. All right.
I was talking to a comedian around town. We were just driving to a show together, and he was talking about how he played football in junior college and like the last 3 years of high school. That's it. 6 years of playing football. And he's like, yeah, man, I have like compressed, but like my joints are all compressed. Like I have constant. He's 26 years old. He's like, I still have like,
Yeah, you're right. Like, my husband he played in high school, and he has shoulder problems, and he's got problems from football from high school.
Yeah. Anyway,
it would be nice if, as a society, we put that much energy into things that, like education, and I don't know.
Football.
But it's so darn entertaining.
Yeah, no, it's really tough. Like, I haven't watched it, but I have read articles nonstop. I can't get enough. I'm like, what happened? Oh, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm not that great. I'm not that great of a person. I'm still like, I'm going to read it. Like, I definitely read like 12 articles leading up to the games this weekend. But I'm also not watching them.
Listen to it on the radio,
Here's what I'm doing. I'm supporting news. I'm supporting writers.
Right.
I'm supporting creative types.
Right. Journalists.
Yeah. And, so I feel like it's okay. I just came up with that right now.
You're such such a good person.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a saint who are playing today. And go Saints.
Yes.
And
the halo is very bright.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to make that hashtag trend again.
Which one?
The Ben Rice hashtag.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah. I'm tired of that.
How did that even get started? Have you talked about that on the podcast?
I don't think so. I went Facebook trending like 2 years ago.
Really?
Like around my anniversary with my girlfriend, we were out in Portland, and like somebody said some stupid Ben Rice pun on Facebook, and then they like, well, that got a few likes. I'm gonna do a second one.
Oh no!
And then every comedian that I knew started doing terrible Ben Rice. And I'm like trying to enjoy a vacation. And my phone's just going nuts.
It's going to be so scary to see your name like coming up. Like you were mentioned. Like, what did I do?
Yeah. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. Oh, it's exhausting.
In trouble now. Yeah.
And then people got their Facebook memories like, we're going to try it again. I'm like, please don't. Please don't do this again.
Huh?
I hate it a lot. I'm not supposed to be.
It's publicity. It's all good.
Yeah, I got no bookings out of it. It didn't result in any change to my status at all. But I can say like, oh, it was trending on Facebook one day.
Yeah.
Right. For nothing.
For 250 likes.
Yeah, I super hated it. I think it was like 450 mentions in like a day.
Wow.
I'm just trying to like.
Crazy.
Go hang out with my girlfriend and walk through snow.
Get some voodoo donuts.
Get some voodoo donuts. Hit up that bookstore.
Yeah,
Pals, which is great. Yeah. See people that have been in Portlandia walking the streets like it's nothing.
Right. Chasing the spot of sun. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, going to a place called Stand-Up Comedy. That was a clothing store that was closed.
Did you just like Google stand-up comedy?
No, we were just walking by and we saw this sign for stand-up comedy. Like, oh, this is a cool place for like a comedy club, a little hidden comedy club.
Yeah.
Right. It's a clothing store. We're like, I hate you.
Portland.
Yeah.
Stay weird.
Please go to Portland. It's great. I love Portland a whole lot. But yeah, that's what I was doing. And my girlfriend was glaring at me when I'd look at my phone. I'm like, there's something new. She's like, you know what it is. It's a garbage pun about your name. Just ignore it. I'm like, but I gotta like it. They made the effort. So dumb.
Did you do shows when you were there?
That time? Yeah, I think so. I think that was our first time going to Portland together, and I think we kind of hit some mics and stuff.
Yeah.
And we saw. Have you met Caitlin Warehouser in your travels?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, she's a dynamo.
Oh.
We saw her do like 8 minutes at a midnight open mic on a Saturday. And you just watch her, and you're like, that is a headliner. That is a headliner. And now she's got like she went to that Montreal Comedy Festival.
Oh yeah,
she's on that.
Yeah.
She's got a role in a Disney movie coming up.
Oh, cool.
Like, she's down in LA now. Like, couldn't
you
have
discovered
another
her.
person. Yeah, that's me. It's me. I discovered her. I was like, this person's great. And then the world's like, you're right. She is great. We should definitely make her famous.
Maybe that's what happened when you were trending.
Right.
That's what got
trends,
it noticed. Yeah.
Got it out there.
You're like, yeah. She's wonderful.
Huh. I've never done stand-up in Portland.
Really?
Yeah.
Secret is actually technically where I did my first stand-up set.
Oh, really?
I did it for my sister's birthday. She wanted me to do it, so we found an open mic.
Oh.
and I got very drunk.
Very nice, yeah.
And the host kept losing the list.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, has never happened in any other mics I've gone to.
That's
this
like
guy,
your only job.
Yeah.
Is to have the list.
Yeah, he kept losing it, so I had to keep writing. And finally, he's like, "Look, man, I can't keep track of this list. What's your name?" And I tell him, "It's Ben Rice. It's not a hard."
Yeah.
And he botches it, like terribly. So I spend my first minute roasting the host.
Yeah.
And then I had a joke about tattoos I had thought of. And I'm anti-tattoo in the joke. There's a guy who just did a joke about how he was anti-tattoo, but now he has one and it's great. And I mocked him for a while. And then I did my jokes, and it was great.
Wow.
And then I got done, and I was like going back to sit with my siblings, like, let's eat food now. We're very drunk. Let's put food in our belly. And the guy comes up and goes, "Hey, that was really good. Here's a list of every open mic. I want to see you again." I'm like, "Oh, I don't live here.
Yeah.
I'm actually leaving tomorrow." Like that's. And then, it was another 5 years before I did it again.
Really? You waited that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Every time I go to Portland to visit my sister, she'd have the list ready to go. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Huh. Doing crowd work first time out. That's something, yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it at all anymore. Very scared of it. Not a fan of it. Not for me. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Attention all Barley and Me fans, the Art of Beer Invitational is back. Join me at Sacramento's favorite beer event on Friday, January 25th, 2019, at McClellan Conference Center. The event will feature unlimited pours from more than 30 top breweries, small bites from local restaurants, and a brewer's silent auction. The proceeds from that auction will benefit the Make-A-Wish Northeastern and Central California, as well as Northern Nevada chapters. VIP and general admission tickets are on sale now at artofbeerinvitational.com. That's artofbeerinvitational.com. Friday, January 25th, 2019. But you do a lot of planned crowd work.
Yeah, kind of. And I've been trying to a little bit more to be a little if something happens, to address it, and because at first I would just ignore it completely.
I feel like you're more of a playful comic. So people are like, "Oh, I want to be playful too." And you're like, "All right, I'm going to bring you in for a little bit, but be cool."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
be cool about it.
Yeah,
and I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back in when I need you.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, there was it's hard for me because I was just talking to Steph Garcia about this because she's kind of aggressive. A lot of stand-ups are aggressive and I'm not. Mm-hmm. So if there's a noisy table, some people can just say, "Shut the fuck up," and then everybody's like, "Yay!" But if I do that, then everybody's like, "Oh, I thought she was nice."
Yeah.
Now she's mean. What's happening? So I have to try to do it in a nice way, and I haven't really been able to figure that out.
It's make it effective. Make it nice and make it funny.
And get them to really shut up. I really mean it. Shut up.
Sir, if you could just, for a moment, just zip the lips.
Yeah, or if you're going to talk to each other, go outside.
Go out. Yeah.
Why are you sitting? Where else do you do that? Where do you go to a movie and then just sit down and have a 4-way conversation? Yeah. There's not a movie going on right now. What?
Take the call.
I think because if you go to see a band, you can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
But stand-up, you got to be... And it's so distracting for me, too. I think because I'm so distracted by it, if I could just block it out, it wouldn't be so bad. Because it's always more to us, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the people on the other side of the room probably don't even hear them.
Don't even hear it, yeah.
But they're right in front.
Yeah. Well, because their words are going towards you.
Right.
Whereas the person's over there. That's not how sonics work at all.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it easy to hear the crowd?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy.
It depends on the room, too. How the acoustics of the room is. But, yeah, usually any little comment is you hear,
Okay.
But my body changes entirely. I can't hear. I can't see. I have no idea. Why don't you crowd work? I can't make out a face when I'm on stage. I'm oh, God, it's comedy time. All right. You're going to be louder than usual. You're going to be much more animated. And
the very worst, though, is when you can't hear them and you see people talking to each other and then they look and point at you and then say something quietly to the person next to you and point at you again. And then, because then that's all what are they saying? What are they saying? What are they saying? That's all I can think of.
And they're like, she's really great.
Right. They really like that last
love her.
Never. That's never funny. What comes into my head, though.
Right. It's always the meanest possible thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's this old bitch doing up on stage? Doesn't she know this is a young man's game?
Yeah. Yep. Or I forgot to put my jeans on, or anything.
Yeah, I was out with a friend last weekend, and I saw them. We went to a bar and we left, and she had toilet paper on the bottom of her shoe.
Oh, just like Trump.
That's that's not real. That doesn't really happen to people. But it happened to you. Bad news.
Did you know how to work the umbrella, though? I mean...
Yeah, it wasn't even wet. It's very strange. But yeah.
That was in Rochester, Minnesota, my hometown, when Trump got on with the toilet paper.
Well, it was nice of him to wave, you know?
It's what?
It's nice of him to wave goodbye, though.
Right. And I think that was all Wisconsin people at the rally, too, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there.
Do it.
Because Minnesota and Wisconsin doesn't really get along. They don't.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm very aware.
Yeah.
Also, Michigan and Wisconsin don't get along.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's Wisconsin. It's
really Wisconsin that's the problem, I think.
Because like Minnesota and North Dakota are fine.
Yeah.
They like each other.
Yeah, just fine. Yeah.
Is it the cheese?
I think it's, it makes them a little bloaty, a little full
and
up.
the beer and the Packers.
Yeah.
And it's all of it, yeah.
Yeah. That entitlement, like, we own our team.
Yeah.
One of my best friends is from Michigan, and if I'm mad at him, I'll tell him to go back to Wisconsin, and he'll get furious.
That's so funny. That's an insult.
Yeah.
There's a cheese store at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, or in Bloomington, Minnesota, that's owned by Packer fans, and it's just solid Packer stuff, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, solid Packer stuff. But they have the best cheese curds, so I have to go in there. And then I was waiting in line one time, and the people in front of me were like, ha, 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 Vikings lose, ha, ha, ha. And then the guy, I must have had a really angry look on my face, because the guy was like, oh, it's all in fun, right? And I was like, no. I hate coming here, and I wish you didn't have good cheese curds. It kills me to walk into this place. It's terrible.
So do you have any cheese curd recommendations in the Minneapolis area?
It's a place, and I'm not even going to say their name because they're horrible.
You shouldn't do it.
It's on the third floor of Mall of America. If you have to go, you can't miss it because it's just Packer stuff.
I'm cutting all that part out. We don't need anybody to know about it.
All right.
We don't need anybody to know about Packersville.
Okay, good.
Or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's good cheese curds, but I'm sure there's moderately close cheese curds.
Well, yeah, there are
else.
other cheese curds downstairs.
But they're just not like you.
Well, I don't eat them myself, but the people I give them to say they really like them. So,
do your friends hate you and want you to have a bad time? Is that really what it is? Like these ones are actually better, but I like the story Cheryl gives me from going here.
Go to the Packers.
Oh, to go get them? Maybe that's
right.
it, huh? Jeez, I hadn't even thought of that. Probably. Oh, now I feel bad about football and myself.
That's what I do.
Thanks, Ben.
I'm here to help. That's what I think I'm doing. And it's just a disaster. Going off the rails. I'm sorry, Cheryl.
It's all right.
On the plus side, you used to run an open mic in Folsom.
Yeah.
At Po' Boys.
Po' Boys for 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
I made it to 1.5, I think. Before
No.
I was like, somebody else to do this.
Oh, 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 1.5. Yeah. Maybe,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one is the venue that I had a bad reputation with comedy for a while because of that room. Because one time I hosted it really, really drunk. I don't know if you were there for that.
Oh,
or if you've heard
I don't
about it.
remember if I was. No.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. I think you gave it to me in like September or August, something like that. And then like that February,
Yeah.
I decided to do the Sober January, you know.
Oh.
I spent the last week visiting family across the country.
Oh.
And that was not the best
Yeah.
it's ever been. And so
Emotionally, not the best,
so I was like,
yeah.
I came back, and one of the beer bars was doing like a what they called the Hop Rodeo. It's a double and triple IPA festival, one day only, right? And I missed that. That's what they do. Is they give you a sampler platter, like 1, 2, 3, or 4. You get 4 little samples, and then it's like $12, whatever.
Yeah.
But the next day, it's no longer that, so those beers are still there, but you could buy whatever size you want.
There you go.
Oh.
And so I went pints down the line right
Wow. A flight of pints?
before. Oh, no. Just pint. Now, at the time I was living like 2 blocks away, so it was totally an easy walk. And I did my part as a responsible host. I asked, can anyone host the show for me? I'm in no condition to host this show. But that show's also it's a bit of a jaunt, but you can walk it. And it started at 8. And just so we're clear, like 20 comics showed up. Any of these people could have hosted.
Yeah.
And none of them wanted to.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No, the hosting is terrible.
Yeah.
But somebody said, hey, I can host starting at 9 p.m. So I finished my 7th pint of double and triple IPAs, and I walked up the hill to the show to put it on. I'd been there since 4, and the show starts at 8, so it's like 4 hours of whatever I've done to myself.
Right. Wow.
And I go up there, and I host it. I do like 2 minutes up front, because I'm like, I'm not going to try to be funny at all here. This is not, I'm in no condition to be doing any of this. Names, get them up here, get them up here, get them up here. And doing pretty well. Remembering names, speaking clearly.
That's all you have to do.
Doing great. Yeah. And then the guy comes in at 9 o'clock, and he's like, hey, man, I'm here. I'm like, great. I'll introduce you as the new host, and I'm going to just hang out. And so I introduce him as the new host, and I go sit down in the chair and the thing, and I immediately black out in the chair. So I'm sitting there facing the stage, just asleep.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah, people came over, they took pictures of me,
Yeah,
they were yelling at me.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and took me like 2 years to live that down.
Wow.
No one wrote on you, though, right? You didn't get cheated?
I don't think so, no.
You held it together as long as you needed to.
Yeah. Awful. Open mic hosting, the worst job that comedy has.
Yeah. I think it's good, though. It's good for networking, and it's good to make you stronger, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, because that was pretty bad.
It's hard to do it year after year.
Yeah. I don't know how people keep doing it. Like, now the new trend is, like, have 3 or 4 rotating hosts to, like, take that burden off.
Right.
Every week, like, oh, the regulars are here. Here's the same jokes I told last week.
Yeah.
Because I can't write.
It's so ridiculous, too, because it's like 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, I got to do this again.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a 40-hour-a-week job. But
Yeah. But you're working one. You're working a 40-hour-a-week job. Then you're like, I'm going to go spend 2 hours where I'm not going to get paid. Definitely going to get too drunk to be responsible.
And you should promote, too, if you're doing a good job and all that.
Like your shows going on.
Yeah. It's awful. Awful.
Yeah.
But I thank you for that, Rube, because it did get me a few more jokes, and
Good.
a little bit better at what I was doing.
Good.
Got me a lot of hosting gigs.
Yeah?
On small shows and stuff.
And you're running your own shows now.
Yeah, I've been doing very well.
Good.
And then we got to host the Sacramento Comedy Festival. And then when they had host drop out, I got to host again because they're like, oh, this person that we hired to come from Oregon decided not to come down here for $30. So I'm like, well, yeah, of course they didn't. Why would you have ever thought they were going to do that?
Whatever do you mean? Yes.
And that got me a bunch of connections in L.A. They got me connections in Chicago. They got me connections in New York. Like, just
perfect.
being a pretty decent host from your room.
Good.
Very nice.
Yeah. So Cheryl's responsible for everything.
Wow.
It's all her fault.
I'll take credit. For it. Sure.
Yeah, I'm bad at what I do, though, right?
No. Don't.
Yeah.
I have beer questions. Can I ask beer questions?
I suppose you could. Sure.
So I went to college in La Crosse, Wisconsin, where Heilemann Brewery is.
Okay.
And we used to do the tours there, the brewery tours, because we got free beer at the end of it.
Right.
So we would go like all the time.
Right.
But that beer tasted so much better than what we would get at the store. But they said it was because it wasn't pasteurized. Is that right? They did something like it's if you drink it like right out of the brewery.
Sometimes
it's different.
Sometimes it's just a question of aging, like when you're packaging. So we don't do any packaging right now. It's all off of drafts and stuff like that. So what you'll get is some stores will have inventory and they roll it out and it's sitting there in their warehouse for a month or two and gets warm and unflavorful. And
so even if it's all sealed up, that still changes the flavor?
Yeah, especially if it's like warm, if it's stored warm.
Yeah.
Then, your hop profile, if it's an IPA or something like that, can fall off or things along those lines. That's why Sierra Nevada and those guys pay so much for like refrigerated trucking, and we try to keep our beers cold as possible in our cold rooms. And when we deliver to local places, like get it there as fast as possible and as cold as possible.
Huh. Okay.
Make sure they're not storing it warm once we get it there and go through the hassle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you don't really have control over what they do.
No.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where, especially someone small like us, like we're not out in many places, so we want to make sure the places we do go to treat the beer well and keep it refrigerated. And it gets harder, I think, when you get bigger. You get out there and you go to the local market and they have a floor display of your IPA and it's sitting in 70 degree, 80 degree. It's like, no. So, yeah, there's some of that. Huh. Plus, sometimes people age it. Some people will bottle condition in bottles and then force carbonate in kegs. So that could be a little taste difference as well.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Basically, they're like, ours is fresh. That's what they're telling you. It's like, ours is fresh. Theirs is designed to hold up over just disastrous conditions, which affects the quality of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like commercial breweries, they have to
Yeah.
make it so it can travel.
Yeah, that shelf stability.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
But now science is like, no, we can actually make it still taste good also when we do that. Now it's like, oh, damn it. All right, now we got to have some other reason why we're better.
Right, yeah.
Huh. In Minnesota, we have coolers to keep the beer warm when we're outside, though, because it's...
Oh, because it'll freeze. Right, yeah. Then it's more like
it's a whole different problem.
Yeah, it's ice distilled and get a little bit more alcohol out of it. And, yeah.
Yeah, I learned that in college.
Yeah.
Because we would just keep it out in the snow, and then because it all freezes except for the alcohol, so you drink off that top part.
Right.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yep. Good times.
Nothing like iced Budweiser. Yeah.
So are all those up there ones that you brew here?
Yeah, so we have brew everything here on site. We have like about 800 square feet of production area, and then the rest of the 3,000 square feet is seating for patrons. Yeah, so we have a 10-barrel system and 4 unit tanks that we use to ferment and carbonate in. And we try to keep between 8 and 10 beers on tap. Right now, I think we're technically at 9. We have a Radler or a Shanty that we have where we add a little bit of a lemonade to our blonde ale. So
Now, is that your own lemonade?
No.
Okay.
We cheat and use San Pellegrino.
Okay.
Yeah. Gives it a little bit of a nice lemon citrus flavor to it and keeps the carbonation up. So yeah.
Oh, I love a Radler on like a nice day.
Yeah. We my wife, there used to be a brewery a while ago in Elk Grove that we'd go there and get those all the time, and we decided, let's do one ourselves. And it goes well with the blonde ale here. So
get your low ABV one. People are like, I don't really like to drink, and it's like,
Right.
that's fine. We got a low ABV one that we're gonna like even water down for you,
Right.
with like.
Do you
a
get mad
delicious
at people?
lemonade.
Because that's how I order beer. Because I usually drink like Coors Light. I feel bad even saying it. So I feel bad when I go to a brewery because then I feel like they're going to judge me and be like, ugh, this bitch. Do you do that? You're thinking it, though, right?
No.
Sure, yeah.
I know. There's a beer for everyone. So we try to walk people through. And people will come in and say, like, I'm a Pilsner drinker, and what do you have that's like a Pilsner? And you kind of walk through, like, well, we have our blonde ale, which kind of like a lager type recipe with ale yeast is how we approached it. And so we kind of guide them towards that.
Okay. You know what, though? My youngest daughter was in Ireland, and she went to the Guinness factory and did that tour, and then she said how good Guinness is.
Yeah.
So I tried it, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
That's about as far away from Coors Light as you can get, isn't it?
It's fairly far, yeah. It's dark, but it's not super alcohol-y or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm expanding my palate.
Oh, there you go.
That's what
That's
I'm
all we
saying.
can ask.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Next,
really
you'll
all
be
it is.
pairing with food, and you'll be on your way.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's baby steps. Nobody dove in head first, like, because like you always had that terrible beer when you were a kid. You had like awful.
I liked
Right.
beer the first time I tried it.
Well, look at you bragging.
No,
what
I mean,
happened?
I'm not proud. It's not proud. It was a huge red flag because it was like 4th grade, and I was like, "This is wonderful. I want 4 of them." And then my
Line
mom
'em
was
up.
like, "Why are your eyes so glassy?" And I'm like, "I'm drinking beer."
Oh no.
Yeah, big red flag.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I gotta pump the brakes on. it a
Yeah.
little bit.
Usually it works like your dad gives you a sip of Budweiser, and you're like, this tastes like crap. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Plus this dirty dishwater
Right.
you're giving me.
It doesn't taste like Coca-Cola at all. Like, why do you drink it? Yeah.
You know what I love about beer drinkers? It's like you go like, oh, I had a terrible terrible Budweiser one time, and it was gross. And then I found like a Belgian double, and it was like sweet and something I kind of recognized, like plum. I loved plums when I was a kid. I'm going to drink that. And then you work into stouts, like, oh, chocolate and coffee. That's what I drink and eat. That's great. And then you like build up to IPAs, and you keep going, and you're like sours. Okay. And then you're like, I kind of want a Budweiser. Like it's where you end up going.
It's the circle of life. Yes. Yeah. Right?
Like, now that I've had it all, I kind of want that dirty dishwasher back.
So I got to figure out what pairs with Olive Garden then, because since September 24th I've eaten nothing but Olive Garden.
Oh, that's a record, I think.
Well, actually it isn't. There was because they do the Pasta Pass. I bought a Pasta Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, $300. They sold out in like a second, so I got it right away, and $300 I can eat all the Olive Garden I want, and so I decided that's what I'm going to do, and it's probably going to kill me. I'm kind of worried.
Yeah.
That it's going to do something bad to me. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's carb loading for the marathon you're training for, I'm sure.
Okay, that's what I'll go for, yeah.
So you're going to need that to lead in, and then you're going to need a beer to cool down, which science proves one beer after a workout is very helpful.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Gets you back some proteins and vitamins.
That's what's good about the Spotted Cow, because it has the yeast in the bottom, right? That's like healthy. That's some nutrition something in it. Do you have any of those that are nutritious?
All of them, I think, are. We don't filter here, so you get Okay. Usually we cold crash our beers and clear them out that way, like
cold
time and
crash
temperature. Oh yeah, just drop them down to like near freezing, and then kind of drops everything out of solution. So we get clear beers that way. But yeah, we have. I'm sure I could stir up some yeast for you if you want.
Well, you have a wheat ale on.
We do, yeah.
Hoppy American wheat ale.
Yeah, our Gwyneth, people will ask for a Hefeweizen. We don't have a Hefeweizen on right now, so we'll steer them towards like the American wheat ale that we have, Gwyneth. And it's done with the Amarillo hops, and it's got a nice like fruity bouquet and a little flavor to it.
Do you have a favorite?
Do I?
Yeah.
It's like, do I have a favorite child?
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
No, I.
Do you have a favorite child?
Yeah, no.
I do. I don't.
No, I'll tend more towards like, we don't have a stout on right now, but stout's usually my favorite style from back in Portland and drinking back then.
Reminds you of being a kid.
Right, exactly. Back in those youthful days where I didn't ache to get out of bed. Usually like our 2 IPAs, like Mr. J, and then we'll go to a double. Right now it's Mo Thing, and we had a Big Ben on before that, which...
missed it.
Yes.
Oh, was it named after Ben Rice, the famous podcaster?
Sure, we could say that, yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. It's actually after another Ben who we play softball with. He's a big, tall guy, and he said, you should name a beer after me. And so we made a Big Ben. It's a 8.7 double IPA, and so now we support our softball team, and we go out and have fun on Thursday nights. Yeah.
Oh, that's a high honor.
Yes, very high honor. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We cannot use any of the labels he's provided us.
Inappropriate?
Yeah. I probably wouldn't get past TTB, but
they
couldn't
anyway right now, so.
That's true, yeah. It would take a while at this point right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we have a Resilience right now, which is part of the campfire relief. So that's been a fairly popular beer. A lot of people in Davis supporting the cause there, and we dedicate 100% of those profits to that fund and to help the people. We've had people come in who have lost homes in the fire, and thank us for having the beer on tap. And then one of our servers actually was working with CAL FIRE and helped in the Santa Rosa fire last year and the fire Paradise Fire campfire this year. So stuff that we hold near and dear to us. Like I like to participate in those. So Resilience is a nice one to have on tap right now.
Hey, you! Do you love craft beer? Do you love craft beer brewed and bottled here in Northern California? Well, if you do, we got a magazine for you. ABV Magazine is the only local print publication covering Northern California's amazing craft beer and spirits community. Each issue features behind-the-bottle conversations, reviews, booze-based destinations, and a comprehensive guide to breweries, taprooms, bottle shops, and distilleries in Northern California. You can sign up for only $1 a month and have each issue delivered right to your front door. Check it out at abvmagazine.com. And from all of us here at ABV Magazine, cheers and thanks for supporting local craft beer. That's abvmagazine.com, alcohol by volume.
So the resilience thing was it's an IPA recipe created by Sierra Nevada.
Okay.
That they let any brewer who wanted have that recipe, as long as all their proceeds went back to that charity.
Oh.
And Sierra Nevada has made it a nationwide distribution for their channels, and every penny that they make goes to this charity that they created for the victims of. Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's like, what is that? 15 million raised. Currently?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty. I think did you say like 1,500 breweries or 1,400 breweries?
1,500 breweries did it. 15 million raised.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's nuts.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
They asked and people stood up. Yeah. I don't know if it took them by surprise or if they were expecting that many, but everyone, I know all 4 breweries here in Davis did it. The local ones outside, like in Winters and Woodland, I think participated, and most of the Sacramento ones did. So it was a big effort.
There's one in Rancho Cordova that couldn't because their owner / brewer is actually the guy that helps coordinate firefighting efforts, so he just didn't have time to.
Oh wow!
He's like I can't get down to brew that. He's like he hasn't brewed beers in weeks because he's like coordinating that.
Oh wow!
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And then I drank a bunch of those. I think I've had like 17 or 18 different versions of it.
Oh wow!
Doing good.
So you're really helping the cause.
Yeah, really helping.
Good job.
Also, a little trick. Pay for a half pint, pay for a full. Do the thing. Yeah, really helpful, very helpful. And then I met a guy he's had 38 now, I think, 38 different ones. And he said he drove to Sierra Nevada with some friends. They put together their own money to like donate to like Sierra Nevada workers who've been affected.
Wow.
We had $1,000 check. We went there to have dinner and gave it to them. And they walked it back to me like, oh, no. Ken Grossman's already bought them all mobile homes. They're taken care of, but thank you.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't know if that was a real story or not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the owner?
Amazing.
Yeah, he's the owner of Sierra Nevada. He just bought any displaced employee a place to stay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That's really something.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was crazy watching that because I was in Minnesota when all that was going on. And I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly, it's just obviously everybody it was horrible. What awful.
It affected business all the way out here.
Yeah.
It was because the sky was, we were getting ash and it was, no one
saw
wanted
the
to walk.
pictures of the smoke. Oh,
Yeah.
horrible.
So we saw no one was out walking with their dogs or their children, and we saw business, decline.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, like just the devastation of that. Yeah.
Terrible.
Hence the name Resilience, because it's all is bouncing back.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff.
And you're pet friendly here too. Speaking of people walking with their dogs.
Yes, we are. We're pet friendly, and we have some local celebrities that will come in from time to time, and there's a Rottweiler named Carl that will come in, and everyone will go and get their pets on. We have a couple Great Danes that will show up and look like horses because they are eye level almost with the bar. So it's like, all right, so what will the dog be having tonight? But it's we tell everyone, like, as long as they're well behaved, they can be inside, and then if not, they could be on the patio, and it's worked out well.
Does anyone bring cats in?
No, although I have seen
leash?
someone walking their cat on a leash, but they have not brought them in yet.
It's weird, right?
Right.
That
I'm
would
just
probably
asking-
drive the dogs crazy.
Oh yeah.
All those well-behaved dogs will be not so much well-behaved.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just asking if it's normal and cool for somebody to walk a cat, because I've been considering doing it with my own cat. I'm like, should I just take this thing for walks?
I know.
I feel like it's very strange.
You'd be looked at, I think.
So my daughter's trying to train her cat to walk because there's a cat in their neighborhood that goes for walks. So they bought it a halter-like thing, and they're just getting it used to that, and then just slowly working it up. So
I can't even get my cat to let me pet it with water so I can wash it.
Oh.
It's like, good luck with putting a whole body bag over it. I don't know what you call it. Yeah.
They don't care for it.
No. Anyway.
Yeah, cats are different.
They're not meant to be on leashes.
Yeah, I think it's because dogs are like pack animals, so they want to walk with their people, and cats are just, I want to be
leave me alone.
independent.
Right.
Yeah.
Please leave me alone. Don't know what I can and can't do.
Right.
I'm a cat.
Yeah.
I'm a cat.
And I think they want to be able to run away to where they feel safe. Mm-hmm. Where the dogs want to be in the pack where they're safe, and the cat wants to get out.
Yeah.
So
Every
when they're
man for
on
himself.
a leash, then they're like, no, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
We'll have to get some of the vet students over here to
make
they
sure
could
that's
explain
it a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
All I know is from Googling.
Well, because cats are kind of like foxes, right? They're kind of similar to foxes.
Aren't foxes canines?
I don't know. Are they?
I think so.
Foxes,
Maybe it's a whole
hounds?
different thing.
I don't know.
I
was going to make it's like they're not called dog holes; they're called foxholes. Cats are like foxes; they're going to be in the hole by themselves. I don't know.
Oh.
But if that's historically inaccurate, I apologize, and I'll just nobody knows.
Yeah, we'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
Speaking of historically accurate statements, we have a historic reporter on.
Yeah.
Davisville.
So we have 2 beers on our list right now that we get together with local schools and do a brewer for a day as one of the auction prizes, and that was one of them. And they wanted to do like something pre-prohibition porter. And so I took it a step further in looking at what grains were available about the time Davis became a train stop, because it was first Davisville train stop, and then the University Farm, and then UC Davis, and everything like that came about after that. And so we have our porter on with no crazy new malts like Midnight Wheat or Black Prince or anything like that. So it's amber malt, brown malt, and pale malt, and it comes out and it has really nice coffee and like really dark chocolate, like 80%, 70% chocolate notes to it. And
nice.
It's been fairly popular for us. So a lot of people, I think, just like the fact that it's tied in with Davis history and a recipe of something like 8.
So you can find actual recipes from back in like the prospector days?
Well, you can. There's some things like what the breweries were buying as far as like looking at grain bills and things like that. And I kind of took the viewpoint of like what grains were available and like what they could possibly have, and kind of went that direction with it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Turned out well, and the people who bid on it were happy, and that was a good thing. And then the other one we have our traditional like Berliner Weiss on.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say traditional. It's kettle soured, but that was the other one that we did, and the power actually went out as we were brewing it, and so we called it Lights Out Weiss. So that kind of went along with that, and the people who helped with creating that one ended up being taking a couple kegs for their wedding. So they had their wedding, and that was their.
Oh, that's a great idea. You can have a specialty customized wedding cake.
Essentially. I'm like, as long as we can sell it at the brewery and get rid of 10 barrels, because we don't really miniaturize anything. We just
That's the smallest batch you do is 10 barrels?
Yeah. So smallest and largest. So,
that's all you do.
It's all I do, yes. So we figured we could pretty much get away with most things at 10 barrels. So yeah. And it's really
just in case you want to clear that up.
Foxes are much more closely related to dogs than cats.
Oh.
Canidae, biological family for wolves, foxes, jackals, coyotes, and domestic dogs.
So there goes your whole foxhole argument.
Yeah. Also, you know what? Now I'm going to just backtrack foxhole. Whole group of guys in there. So, totally fits dogs. The whole time. Yeah. Fine. Why don't you host this podcast, Cheryl? Which is now about what is and is not a dog. And what is and is not worried about what you can do as a cat owner. It's you have to leave it in the house.
Yes.
Yeah. You have one cat?
I have one cat.
No dogs?
No dogs.
But your Barley and Me, that's kind of a dog reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
So there you go. So I'm not that far off.
Right. But
steering us back into the dogs.
Yeah.
That works, yeah.
Yeah. Tagline is the beer dies at the end. Barley and Me.
Spoiler alert.
Not a good person. Oh, it says it right there.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Oh, I never noticed that before in your logo.
I'm very clever.
Sure is.
Yeah. Very proud of myself. Don't use it because a lot of people get very upset.
Really?
The dog thing.
You have to know.
Yeah.
Anything that has a dog, like any book with a dog on the cover or Old Yeller.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah,
right?
it's the dog is a goner.
Yeah, where the red fern grows.
Oof. Yeah,
right.
Devastating.
Yes,
that's why. What was Incredible Journey? What was the
Homeward Bound?
Homeward Bound. There you go. That's why that was such a what a twist.
Yeah,
he's alive.
The dog survives.
Like, and then there's the weird one, like it's a half a twist, half not a twist. Milo and Otis, they make it, but actually it's not the same dogs we started with. Oopsies. This is getting sad. I will say if you have a cat movie, they're like, yeah, the cat just went about his business. And that was the end of the cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Or it really likes lasagna.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And just keeps living.
Right.
And hates
Decades.
Mondays.
Hates Mondays. Right.
Accurate. I saw a theory that people were like, he hates Mondays because that's when John goes to work and he was home all weekend. And I'm like, no, John works from home. He's an artist. He's an illustrator. He works from home.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's okay with Mondays.
Yeah. Garfield sees other people like, they look really happy. I'm miserable in here, but they're also sad Mondays, so I'll also hate Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my theory. I've been wrong in every theory I've presented so far today, so maybe that's also incorrect.
I'm going to Google it.
Yeah.
Why does Garfield hate Mondays?
Jim Davis, we need answers. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about? You got anything? Big goals, big dreams?
Big goals, big dreams. 2019, we're kind of just looking at hopefully getting out to more local restaurants, maybe expanding into Sacramento a little bit and Vacaville. Also bringing, we got a 16-ounce can seamer.
Okay.
So maybe start doing a little bit of that for our more popular beers. But yeah, it's we just had a meeting last week with our 3 employees and went through like kind of goals of 2019 and just gearing them up because everything here is we have nothing that's automated, so everything's very much handcrafted, brewed. We get everything. We have an old dairy cooler as our mash tun.
Okay.
So we have to lift grains in and shovel grains out. So I just was gearing them up like with a push to get into more retail spaces. Then that means we have to brew more often and
probably hike up our efficiency a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Or just get more workouts in. Shoveling 1,000 pounds of grain gets to be.
Did you realize how much work it was going to be when you started, or did you had a realistic?
I would say I had a partial realistic. Like I knew it'd be a lot of work, and for the first 8 months that we were open, I had a full-time job as well.
Oh, wow!
And so then at one point it was like, well, I've cashed in all my retirement to open the brewery. I need to focus on that, or else not. So I ditched the day job and started to focus on the brewery. But yeah, if I could go back in time, I would have maybe done a little bit more capital raising and gotten something that would push the grain out for me. Like mash rakes would be beautiful right now, especially when we're trying to up production to get out to more places. So.
Yeah, I think people are probably wondering if you're doing that by hand, how long does that take to mash out if you're getting those grains out of there? 1,000 pounds. People, they have an idea in their head. What's the reality?
Right. So the reality, so me and my shovel Fred will we can get 1,000 pounds of grain out in about an hour, and then we put it in between 5 and 6 garbage cans that then go to our local farmer. Who's also part of CAL FIRE, part of the Helitac division. And the whole mashing process, we kind of extended, like it's really a glorified homebrewing system is what we went with because of capital restraints and things like that. So we'll put the grain in, let it sit for about an hour, put some, we do our sparge on top of that, and then to get the grain out, it's about an hour to shovel 1,000 pounds.
Oh, wow. Man.
Don't have to go to the gym then.
No. Yeah, it's definitely a workout. And then all that on the pallet jacking and wheeling it out because we're in a little shopping center to put it in the back where the landowner wanted us to put it. You know, it takes a little bit of a muscle to get it out there and get it up and over. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always pushing around 1,000 pounds like it's nothing.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, yeah.
It's like, no big deal. Yeah.
No, yeah. And so that's what people always usually our list will have beers in the 5 to 8 range, and so the more alcohol usually requires more grain. So they're like, you should just do nothing but session beers. You're shoveling it out. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I like the double IPAs and the bigger stouts, so I want the grain in there. But yeah, it's I got the idea from I think AleSmith when they started out and had that kind of set up, and then Odd 13 in Colorado had it. Talked to those guys a little bit and got that.
Are breweries, are they supportive of each other? Is like, because you're competitors, but
yeah, they're. I mean, I could talk to the Davis Brewers, and I could even Colorado. Like I said, I talked to Odd 13. Guy took some time. I wrote him, said I'm thinking about starting it up, and he spent an hour and a half with me going through, gave me contact information. It's just one of those things that one of the best things about it is everyone's super supportive. They just want good beer out there, and they'll do whatever they can to help you get that. I've called on the other breweries here in Davis for help with like just getting some things set up, or one of my instruments broke and I borrow one of theirs, and they'll drive it over themselves and hook it up, and we'll have a couple of beers while we're trying to figure out what's going on. And it's
Nice.
very, very supportive, and a good group of guys. I'm glad to be part of it here in Davis. Yeah.
nothing like comics.
Yeah. But we have writing sessions, brainstorming.
Yeah. Sacramento is really good. I think the comics are really supportive. of one another.
The give and take of shows.
Yep.
You can pitch ideas, then they'll steal them from you, then you get mad about it, and it's totally fine. And it's not a big deal. No, I've never been good at sharing information like that at all. Like, I've been asked to write a joke for somebody one time, and it was J.R. de Guzman.
Yeah.
He asked me to help write it. He's like, I have this idea for a bit, and I just can't get it to work. Can you help me? And J.R. is like the sweetest guy. He's so nice. He's like, he does musical comedy and stuff like that.
He's blowing up.
He's blowing up. He won like stand-up NBC 2 years ago. No big deal. Just the last two have been from Sacramento. It's a worldwide talent search.
Right.
Isn't
No
that
big
crazy?
deal. No big deal. Nothing. And then like Kabir from San Jose won it like 3 years ago. So it's like it's just this area of winning. No big deal. No. Anyway, so he asked me to help write a joke about those you put a quarter in and you get like some gumballs out, like a gumball machine. That's what they're called, right? The machine you put the money into and you get a gumball. And he's like, it's like, and they have an ad for on the thing, like, the money that the proceeds here help to locate lost children. It's like, well, that's weird because they probably use these gumballs to lure the kids in the first place, which it's not.
That could get pretty dark.
And he's not,
Right.
And so I wrote one, and I'm, I used to be a lot darker than I am now, so I wrote one that was about taking this joke idea from someone and like putting it in a basement and like just torturing it till I had the best joke possible out of it. and just like stripping it down to its very bare essence, like that kind of like really creepy stuff. Like, I'd invite people over. I'd have these big elaborate comedy shows, and they wouldn't know it was down there, back there. Like bring them right by, but they couldn't see it. But there's a fun little thing for me. That's the joke I wrote. And it's what got me booked on that hosting gig. By the way, this is a really good joke. It was really well done and like acted out, but like. It's not a JR joke.
Yeah.
But I'm like, here's what I came up with. And he did it like for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's like, people are really not liking that joke. I'm like, yeah, they shouldn't. Not from you. Not from me. You can't tell that joke. It's just like so bad. I don't do that joke anymore, obviously, but I still feel like it was a really well-written joke. But it's very dark.
Yeah.
So it was like right after like that guy had been found with like 3 women in his basement.
Oh, right,
It
yeah.
was just like, well, I'm like, well, hey, topical. Here we go.
Wow.
That's awful stuff. But, but did pretty well. Just not really who I am now.
Anymore?
Yeah. Now I'm positively uplifting. Very strange.
be darned.
It's very difficult. Right? Like, really? I'm like, yeah, really? Very positive jokes now. Yeah, because I was the angry guy. I was the loud, angry guy. Loud, angry, energetic guy. Yeah.
Really?
Fine. Yeah. You get pigeonholed enough, you're like, I should probably stop doing that.
They say it takes a while to find your voice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And now they're very positive.
good.
Like DJ Sanders, like, I noticed you have like a theme in your jokes. Well, yeah, kind of. It's a running theme.
Oh, good.
But you probably feel alienated, and you're not really. You know, like
you got to come to Minneapolis. Come do some shows in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun when I did go.
You know what? There's a brewery place there where you go and you just buy your glass, and they give you like a little chip reader, and then you take it up, and you know those places, and then they just charge you by the ounce, so you sample all the different the kinds of beers.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Let's go.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally went to one like that, and I was like, I don't get it, because they're like, I'm like, you put the card up, and you say what you're gonna get, and then you like how much you're gonna get, and then you put the glass down. But I move the card, it stops working. Like, there's a little holder for the card right there, sir. Like, oh,
all right.
Okay, so I put the card in the slot. Sorry, I was handling this like a door, a hotel door.
Right.
Half ounce pours on that.
Like, I think your thing's tapped out. I was like, you're just an idiot. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right then.
I don't know. So I just did that like a week ago. I'm like, it was embarrassing. It was awful.
Huh. Is that here in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
the bank.
Okay.
Beer bar. Used to be a bank.
Oh, how clever.
Very creative. Yes.
So you can tell the old lady that you're going to the bank.
Right.
Ha ha.
Where do you work? The bank.
Yeah. I'm in finance. Yeah, just awful. But things are going good, and it's all your fault, Cheryl.
Good.
Very good.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So you guys have any events coming up here at Super Owl?
Oh, events. No, we have we're already starting to get the request in for like school fundraisers and some brew fest are already like, we're in April. Will you guys be able to pour for us? And I'm like, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, no, we have some of those requests. There's a benefit for the officer that was shot recently here in Davis. That we're going to be donating some beer to, and they're going to have a relief, like a fundraising thing for her charity, or they've established something in her name. So we're going to do that here in Davis. But yeah, no, we're getting ready, getting some beers out that will hopefully be around for the festival seasons to start up here. It seems like February kind of kicks it off. You have all the triple IPAs coming out.
Yeah.
The younger Evil 3, I heard, is coming out on the 2nd, things like that. So some good things there. We don't, it's
ready to mash in 1,500 pounds and take it back.
I know. I was just thinking like triple IPA.
Like, I'm just looking at it like, oh no.
Yeah, I just stared over to the production area like, oh my goodness. No. So we might try our hand at it. Right now, we do our double, and we can sneak it up. When I was homebrewing, I could get I would go up to like 15% alcohol, but that was definitely on a smaller scale than.
Yeah.
Now I think about it, like, I'm going to be shoveling that grain. Like, do I really want to go up that high? Like, what else can I do? Yeah. So, those are the kind of the events coming up. I know some events up in Auburn, and that we're probably accept doing that. And,
is it hard to say no?
No, we get a request almost at least one a week. Yeah. Can you do this? Can you support that? It's difficult to say no because there's a lot of good causes out there, and we want to support them. But it's also a business, and we have to make decisions like what's going to be the what it leads to customers for us. Yeah. Is it getting our name out there to people who will then go to the restaurants that we're at, or come to the brewery and things like along those lines. So, it definitely can be hard to say no to everyone. But at the same time, like, we're 16 months old and have a limited. We're growing, but not. I don't have a lot of people shoveling grain besides myself right now. So there's a limit to that growth. It's my back. Yeah.
It's really nice to see people supporting a local business like this, though. It's really busy in here.
Yeah, thank you. We get a really good local people come out for walks. Usually on the weekends and Fridays, like, we'll get people from out of town come in and visit, and it's been great. A couple things like the Beer Frontier has their passport book, and we'll stamp those, and those are all really fun. And like I said, sometimes you'll just have people come in and like, hey, I live over here. You look familiar. Where are you from? And all of a sudden, like a month later, they're sitting next to each other at the bar every Thursday. And
it's like Cheers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a couple. We have a couple guys named Ron. Who maybe they'll listen to this, I'm not sure, but they it was funny. They started off at one. It was at each end of the bar, and so they were bookends. Ron and Ron ended up there. And they slowly, after the first couple months of being open, they worked their way together, and now now we see them a couple days a week, and they always sit next to each other, and they sat with each other's families when their families are in town or at the brewery as well. So. A lot of good things. We have trivia nights on Thursdays, and that's kind of fun to see how that's grown up, and people get competitive, and then also teams have formed like, hey, you just want to join us and come and join there, and all of a sudden like we have a regular team that shows up every Thursday.
Juggernaut.
We killed trivia that one time we played together.
Yeah.
You got Code of Hammurabi.
Yeah, we were doing great.
Killed it,
Well, I used to be a really good trivia player. I had a pretty good team.
Okay.
And we had a couple of old guys, some youth that didn't contribute much.
It's good to have diversity,
Yeah. Well, we had a very diverse team, and we'd go every week and just... But there's one team that had a guy who'd won Jeopardy before, which I think should be illegal. That's not fair.
Right, yeah.
Like, you should be barred.
Yeah.
So, like, his team would show up or not, and he'd be like, I'm first or second every time.
Wow.
It's like, oh, it was just me this week. I won Jeopardy 3 times. No big
No big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah.
These guys are here for the free beer we get when we win. So, like, first place was always like, oh, we beat the guy that was on Jeopardy. Like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. You have something to aim for at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then they're like, you should go to the one in Davis. And, like, I don't remember what bar, but there's, like, I guess one where, like, all the professors go and do trivia.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't sound like any fun at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's pretty hard trivia questions, too. It's not like... we try to make ours fun, more like a game show.
Yeah, there's some harder ones. Some,
Right.
Like, you ease them in. You don't want to frustrate somebody right away. I don't like trivia hosts that do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, want to give you the hard one right away. Like, this is awful.
Yeah.
Ease me in. I just got done with my 8-hour day job.
Yeah.
Ready.
Anyway, I used to be really good at trivia. Now I'm terrible at it. What is a fox? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. But, where can people find out about your events, what you guys are doing, what beers you're putting out, what's your social media handles?
Yeah, so we have our webpage, www.superowlbrewing.com, and then it has links to our Instagram page and our Facebook page that we usually update a little bit more often. It's easier to take a snapshot of our or photo of our beer listings and everything like that, and do our trivia posting on Facebook on what that week's categories are going to be and things along those lines. So, you can find us there. And then also, if you're local in Davis and you're listening to this, we have the Davis Dirt has our usually things on the calendar for that, which is a local little publication of events happening around here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Local rag.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's a fun time. And then I can't think of any. I think that's really all of our. We have 3 postings there. Yeah.
And Cheryl Anderson, where can people find you on the internet and out in the world?
CherylTheSoccerMom.com, Cheryl Soccer Mom, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those.
Yeah.
YouTube. It's Cheryl the Soccer Mom on YouTube. I messed that up.
Yeah. You gotta have
just random Cheryls.
Yeah. Because I remember one time I introduced you as a person as Cheryl T. Soccer Mom.
Oh.
Like a middle initial. So it's not needed to be there. And then you can find Barley and Me across the internet at Barley and Me Pod. You can email questions, comments, concerns to barleymepodcast@gmail.com. Although a fan did just make me a Barley Me Pod at Gmail because it was available, so you can also email that. So there's ways to fix it,
Yeah.
There's ways around it.
Very nice, yeah.
But yeah. All right, guys, this has been episode 92 of Barley and Me at Super Owl Brewing in Davis. Joey, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheryl, thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
And thanks
Glad
so much
this worked out.
Yeah, and thanks so much for listening. get home safe.